everyone, it's Shel C from PaperOcotilloStudio, and here is another project that I did with the gel printed papers that I gel printed yesterday. You guys saw the video yesterday. Today's video is similar. If you did watch yesterday, you heard me say that I kind of ended up with two different colorway sets of the prints. They were when I was using the inks, the Versa Fine Clair inks that I gel printed with, and the new stencils from Stencil Club. And I had a purple and green one, and then I had like these red, coral, orange plus green ones. And the project yesterday was the red, coral, orange, and green. And then now I'm going to use the purple ones. But the difference between yesterday's project and today's is that this is actually on plastic. This is a empty container of yogurt pretzels, and the lid fits on really tight. It's like a safety seal tight lid. So I saved this. I was kind of laughing as I read the comments on yesterday's video about how some people were like, oh, I have so many of these empty containers saved. I mean, you get to a certain age and then you're like, oh, I don't want to throw away this thing because it's so good. I should use it for something, especially if you're a crafty or artsy person. So I too have a whole bin of things that I saved for use later. They're getting a little bit dusty. I've got, and I really want to use them. And so I am also inspired. So there will be a video today, this video, and then there's also another one tomorrow with a different project. But these are the same papers, just a different type of project. And I wanted to see if this really good, firm plastic container would be useful. I did for years have all my collage papers sorted in these little boxes that were from mini cinnamon rolls that my mom was saving for me. And some of them have started to break down. They've got the top of the plastic has cracked a little bit. I'm still using them for other things, but I've switched out my sorting system into plastic baskets now, large and small baskets with color marking or whatever. But it's always so depressing to me that we get all these plastics. Our food comes in, or different things come in all these plastics, and then we just throw them away. And so I have this tendency to save them. This one, it really is a good, I mean, if you were to say there is a good plastic container, this is a good plastic container. It's thick. The lid fits really tight. And so I thought it would be a good thing to do, to put truffles in as a gift, which is what yesterday's was for too. So then my question to myself was, well, can I collage on it? Will it stay on plastic? And I thought that it would, because plastic and acrylic and rubber, they're all kind of the same type of manufactured polymers. And I just thought that it would seem like I should be able to use gel acrylic medium and attach paper to plastic. So this is me trying it. And I must say, it worked. I even like kind of messed around with it after it was dry just to make sure that it wasn't going to peel off, and it's not. It's stuck on there. I did not seal this with spray sealer like I did the tin one, because the tin one had some water soluble media on it. I used some pins that would be interrupted with if they got wet, and that's the reason that I took it outside and sprayed it with clear sealer. This one doesn't have anything that's going to be bothered by getting wet. I don't think you could put it in the dishwasher. I don't think you could, really soak it and have it not be damaged. But then I also don't think that you could do that with the tin one. Even though I've sealed it, I think that, a quick hand wash and dry with a hand towel is fine, but you wouldn't want to like really try to. It's not safety sealed for the dishwasher. That being said, there is a product that is from Mod Podge, and maybe what I should do to this one is put some of that on there. It's a I used it when I made some alcohol ink on the outside of ceramic, and it says it's dishwasher safe. I've never put it in the dishwasher, however, I have hand washed it. But now that I think about it, this one would be a good candidate to put a coat of that on, and that's what I'm going to do because I have it in the drawer still from when I made those. You drip the alcohol inks on there, and maybe you put the saran wrap onto like just a ceramic cup and make really pretty things. I made those one year, a few years ago for Christmas for a couple of friends. I'm going to do that. I'm going to put the Mod Podge stuff on there. But as far as how durable this feels, it feels it feels stuck. It doesn't feel like it's going to peel. So that I think that could be left like this. It's just if you think that the person is going to save it and want to use it again, or do you think they're just going to pitch it once you've given it to them? So as far as this container goes, it was a little bit tricky because the container was not straight. It was tapered towards the bottom. And then in all the four corners in the bottom, there was this little area that was pushed in and had like a little triangle. So I did have to mess around a little bit and trim the paper. Also, I didn't do any of that sanding of the edges like I did on the tin one. So I had to really be sure that I was making everything line up. And I did not want any medium left on any of the plastic that I left bare. Like around the top, I wanted the lid to fit, so I didn't put anything on the plastic around the top. So I was being careful to make sure that everything was lined up, and I did a pretty good job. As I see in the pictures, there still is places where it says safety seal on the plastic, and you can see it in the pictures at the end, which is kind of funny. I guess it must be on that lip because I only took the paper up to the little ridge and not underneath that lip that's coming down. There was like a little area where it could stop. It felt like it should stop, and that's where I stopped it. I did even cover the bottom because there had been a sticker on the bottom that was, a barcode or something. So I peeled the stickers as much as I could, but I didn't go crazy. One little tip or trick that I'll tell you as you're doing this, and on the tin one and the ones that you'll see tomorrow too, I clean them off with 91% rubbing alcohol. And that is to remove the fingerprints and oils from your hands because that will like kind of repel anything that you put on there like the acrylic medium, which this is Liquitex matte gel medium that I used. So now I've got back out the stencil. These are the Stencil Girl Stencil Club December offerings. You get a 9x12, a 6x6, and a 4x4. This is the 6x6, and they're the ones that I used for the gel printing yesterday with the inks. And now I've got some acrylic paints in Eggplant and Evergreen. These are Dina Wakley colors, heavy body acrylic. And I'm just going back over and adding some more design elements on there to brighten it up a little bit. When you're gel printing with the the VersaFine inks, I keep saying Versamark because that's the one I use that's the clear embossing sticky ink. And I just always want to say Versamark. But what I mean is VersaFine Clair inks, which are fast drying pigment ink. The colors become muted a little bit on the plate, kind of like you're getting a second generation version of it. Still the same color, but not as intense and vibrant as if you were to just put it right on the paper. And so I thought it would be nice to just pump up the color a little bit on these by stenciling some of the same designs over the top and areas where I matched up the paper and it wasn't quite the same color, that type of stuff. It just make it unified a little bit. So I just did that with a cosmetic sponge, and then I did it on the lid and all the sides of the container. And then now I've got an India ink black India ink, which is in a Pentel pocket brush, one of my favorite little marking tools. And I'm going around and drawing the edges of the leaves. And then I also have a white fine tip Posca pen, that's acrylic paint pen, and drawing around the design. And then, just to make it fun, I got out my Stickles glitter glue, which I think, at the holidays, you just want things to sparkle. You want sparkle. But glitter is so annoying. It gets on everything and it gets everywhere. So having a glue or a medium that is mixed with your glitter is definitely the best thing invented since sliced bread because it does not flake, and I really like it about that. So I put on glitter and added like some little highlighted areas. And then I'm doing the same thing around the outside of the container as well, where I had stenciled on. The evergreen colored ones are outlined in white, and the eggplant ones are outlined in the black. So, and then I put the glitter on. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you're inspired. If you've got some of these plastic containers, I say go for it. If you really want it, if you're thinking about it being washed after use and reused, maybe put some of that Mod Podge. I don't know if it's called OK to Wash It. I think it might be called OK to Wash It or something like that. It's a Mod Podge product, like all their other sealers and glues. OK to Wash It sounds right. And I know I have it somewhere in the drawer, so I'm going to put it on this. I am. I said. Yeah, if you did like this, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you have a comment or a question, put it down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, please. And turn on your notification bells if you haven't already. Like I said, there'll be another video tomorrow. The live stream is the day after that. And then, of course, Christmas is on Saturday. So there probably will not be anything Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. I might have another video on the 27th would be the next one. So, and it'll probably be something different. I'll be done with all this packaging, this packaging stuff that I'm doing. But anyway, yeah, just don't forget to come back and watch and all those things. So I did put a green satin ribbon on this one, and because I thought it would be pretty. And there, you can see all the sparkles as I'm moving it around. And there you go. That's it for me. Thanks. Bye-bye.